In a world that appears to make no linear sense, there is a time-travelling rabbit with an important agenda. What is it? No one knows, but it has something to do with basketball. Welcome to a reality where a famous pig actor turned despotic leader rules with an iron fist, and a psychopathic duck may be our only hope for salvation. Welcome to the Tooniverse.
The Space Jam Continuum is a show where two brave souls attempt to create a cohesive cinematic universe out of something that was never meant to be one. Looney Tunes, from 1937 all the way to Space Jam. Why? Because in an era where all people want is a cinematic universe and reboots of all cartoons, we're the only ones with the resolve to combine the two.
So join us every Wednesday as we explore the depths of the Tooniverse, slowly clawing our way ever closer to the 1996 classic.
That's the Space Jam Continuum, every Wednesday at kaiju.fm or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Oh, and we advise you start at the beginning.
It's a good idea.
Welcome one and all to Merely Roleplayers, where theatrical people play role-playing games. I'm your host, I'm Matt, and this episode we're concentrating on Nat. Hello.
Hi.
You ready to find out what sort of castaway you're going to be?
I am, yes.
Ready to take that icy plunge?
Well, yes.
So, as always, we start with stats, and stats come from everybody else. What's everybody else is thinking about what Nat's instinct, intellect, and resolve ought to be?
See, I think a bit of intellect. I'm erring towards intellect.
Yeah, that sounds good. Having met Natalie roughly an hour ago, I'm feeling intellect. That could work. Plus an instinct.
Yeah, I hope there's abilities to explore and defend others.
You seem like naturally quite a curious person. I feel you're going to be sort of interested in going off into the wilderness and leading.
But we know she can't swim.
We know she can't swim, so
minus one resolve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Actually,
that works out quite nicely. So you're not a swimmer, but you are an explorer. So
As long as the exploring is on land.
yes, perfect.
No deep sea diving. So what was that? Intellect +1, instinct 0, resolve -1?
That's it.
Yep. Excellent.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, no switches yet. That's always good.
That's very trusting
Shows
of
that
everybody.
there's trust. The table is in sync. You're going to get a special skill to have on the island.
Yep.
You're going to get an element, or more than one element, possibly, in which you get a bonus. And also, we should talk about what your role is/was on this cruise ship in this, as we've established, variety performance.
So I reckon I've done a lot of theatre and education and that kind of stuff. So I reckon I was probably in charge of the kids' club. Maybe not willingly, but I think that's probably what I was doing.
This foreshadows your experience on the island quite spookily. We are the kids club.
If you think those children were badly behaved,
I know, right?
you wait.
But then again, my resolve and therefore show leadership is -1, so I was not a very good kids club host, clearly.
There was no control in that environment.
They were
The
like
kids controlled you.
clambering all over you, pulling your hair.
I reckon I kind of managed and ran like a couple of the onstage games and untalented shows and that kind of thing.
Maybe like a kids' quiz.
Yeah.
Beetle Drive.
There's
Do they still
probably
do those?
a Beetle Drive.
Yeah,
Oh, great.
It's like a big thing they used to do in school. It involved rolling dice. It was basically gambling, but with no actual gambling outcome.
Every number on the dice related
like
to a section of the bug, and you had to roll until you got all the sections of the bug. So it was who could roll a one
bug
to a six.
bingo.
Yeah, it was bug bingo.
Was there any money involved? Were you sort of...
No, because you were like 6.
Well, that's what you said. It was like gambling. I was really concerned for a second there.
So we went to very different primary schools.
Yeah, it was a way to keep every child in the school occupied for an afternoon, basically, in the big hall.
It was very different when we went to school, of course. Nowadays it's iPads, and back then it was rolling dice and insects.
Yeah, there's no Wi-Fi on the cruise ship. Well, there probably is, isn't there? It's a big cruise ship.
Yeah, they have Wi-Fi.
Well, actually, do we think it's a big cruise ship, or is it a budget cruise?
Yeah, it could be pretty budget.
Well, I mean,
I've actually not been looking into it for myself, but I discovered the other day that Star Trek cruises are a thing, and the cruise ships are massive for that, and they get all the stars come in. There's another popular property. I don't know if I should say it because it feels a bit mean to say it, but they also run a cruise, but it's much smaller, and the cruise ship does not look like it actually sleeps anyone.
Oh no,
it's very sad, but it's massive. It's Game of Thrones. I was really surprised at how small the cruise ship was for that.
They do a board game cruise as well, like a tabletop board gaming cruise, yeah.
That'd be really cool. Anyway, so I reckon I run kids' club activities. There's probably like a bit of a kids' disco thing that then transitions into the variety show that people are involved in.
Mm-hmm. Do the kids get to have like an act at the end of the thing so the parents can come along to the variety show and see their kids and what they've been doing for the rest of the week?
I reckon, the final day is the kids' variety show where they've been working
I bet it's really rubbish as well, isn't it?
There's probably one girl that's a better tap dancer than you in it.
There we are, shots fired. Second person to be eaten on.
So that's what you thought you'd be doing on this trip.
So that being said, despite being like a terrible kids club leader, I reckon that it's given me the instincts of like when the kids get lost and run away.
Oh yeah.
I have learnt how to find them and follow the signs that the kids leave.
Yes.
The chocolatey fingerprints.
Fingerprints, the footprints, the smears. So I can...
Smears? These poor children, they're not being bathed.
So I can follow the tracks. Yeah, that's my skill.
The child has been through it.
Yeah.
2 days previous. Sweating, 9 years old.
They were
covered in jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is going to be a thing that you're able to roll to follow the tracks of animals on the island to try and track them down, see where they've gone, either to hunt them or to see where they nest or shelter or whatever it is that you might need to track animals for.
Yes. And then, as we've previously mentioned, IRL, I am terrible at swimming and in water, which is a great idea if you're going to be working on a cruise ship.
It's fine. Those things never go down.
No, you're absolutely fine.
So, yeah. Cruise ships never go down, so it's fine.
Too big to sink.
But that being said, as far as elements are concerned, then I have taken a -1 to defending against water, being in water, to allow me to take 2 positive elements instead.
Nice.
So I am good when managing
infants.
What is it called?
It's when managing one of the group's resources.
Yes.
So do you have an idea of which resource you're going to pick?
Can you run through them all again for me, please?
So there's not kind of a definitive list. It's the stuff that you need to survive. So it'll be things like fresh water, food, fuel for fires, shelter,
crayons,
hugs.
You can manage your own love.
No, okay.
Like if you decide that the way you're going to try and get rescued is by building a giant wicker man, setting it on fire, then like components for the wicker man would be a resource that would need managing. So
that's a very specific resource. I'm going to go with food.
Okay.
I will manage the food, and I also get a +1 bonus to when we're all together.
So he's going off by himself.
Yeah.
You're following his tracks. Come back, no.
just out of sight,
but not out of earshot.
Not out of earshot. A tap, 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 tap.
Okay, that sounds like everything. Mm-hmm. You're ready to be cast away.
Dive, 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 or not.
You've been listening to Merely Role Players. In this season, Vikki, Dave, Ellen, Alex, Nat, Strat, Starkey and Josh all play themselves, sort of, in a game designed and run by Matt. Like most of our games, this one's powered by the apocalypse. You can find more games in this genre at apocalypse-world.com/pbta.
If you enjoyed the programme, let us know with a review or rating on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Listen Notes, or wherever you do your listening. You can also find us on Twitter at Merely Roleplay and at facebook.com/Merely Roleplayers. Merely Roleplayers is an independent production in association with Blackshaw Theatre Company. Join us for more drama next episode.